Hey everybody, I'm JJ. You're watching Reality Survival. So today we're going to talk about the top 15 lessons learned so far in the Ukrainian and Russian conflict. So the first thing is that logistics matter. Tanks and armored units from Russia appear to be having fuel shortages. This has led to them getting attacked when they break armor. And the lesson learned here is tanks are hard to beat, but if you wait until the crew comes out, that's a huge vulnerability and opportunity for the underdog. Timing is everything on this one. They also seem to be somewhat vulnerable to Molotov cocktails. Two is an armed populace makes a big difference in their willingness and ability to fight when invaded by a foreign country. Lesson learned here is make sure your populace is well armed before the conflict. Guns and ammo prices are back down to reasonable levels, so make sure that you have what you need before prices go up again. You can find some affiliate links on AmericanPreppingAcademy.com for that. Number three is having a good stockpile of food and water is really important because during the conflict, your ability to get calories will be severely limited. Lesson learned here, keep at least 3 months of food in your home at all times. You can head over to realitysurvivalfood.com for some discounted long-term food storage there. Number four is infrastructure is what gets targeted first by an invading force. This is why conducting an area study of your location is so important, so that you'll know where the infrastructure items are and you'll have an idea of what will get hit first. Then you can formulate defensive plans based on those assumptions. Lesson learned here is do an area study ahead of time so you know what's around you and what is important to the enemy. Number five is never underestimate an opponent, especially one who is fighting for their homeland. The lesson learned here is if you're going to use overwhelming force at the onset of an invasion, make sure it's actually overwhelming. Russia seems to have gotten that one wrong in this one, in my opinion. Number six is propaganda matters. Propaganda is a powerful force that has the ability to convince citizens to stay and fight. It also has the ability to get outside countries to assist you in your struggle. The lesson learned here is always control the narrative with propaganda that is favorable to your cause. Ukraine has shown that this can really make a difference in the fight. Number seven, if you live in a heavily populated area near critical infrastructure, you need to have a bug-out plan. And it should be executed well before the invasion begins. Traffic congestion has been shown to be a massive problem with people leaving their homes in the cities. The lesson learned here is establish a good intelligence collection plan so that you are informed ahead of time and can leave early if needed. On-Scene Alert is a great way to do that. Just go to onscenealert.com, use the discount code RealitySurvival, save 30%, and for about cost of a large cup of coffee per month, you can have text alerts sent to your phone and your family member's phone, and you get Monday through Friday a daily global intelligence brief so you have an idea of what's going on around the world. Number eight, if you live near a nuclear power plant, that is likely to be the target of an invading force. It's possible that could be attacked and used as a radiological dispersion or a dirty bomb of sorts. The lesson learned here is if you live near a nuclear power plant, you should have gas masks, iodine tablets, radiological survey meters, and individual dose meters, as well as a way to monitor the wind direction. A Geiger counter is not useful in this kind of instance, and I'll do another video explaining why that is. Number nine, fuel shortages have been rampant, especially due to the targeting of oil refineries and storage facilities. Expect this to happen during an invasion. Lesson learned here, make sure you keep your own supply of fuel on hand. Having at least 30 gallons of extra fuel on hand is the minimum each home should have. Number 10, the media is full of pictures of displaced people and refugees who are in crisis mode. Many have no plan, no group to rely on for help, and are all alone struggling to live day to day. Lesson learned here is make sure you and your family and your neighbors come together to help each other, take care of each other. Do what you can to defend your home from a position of strength by making sure that you have the things you need to take care of yourself for a prolonged period. Number 11, people living in rural areas have not suffered nearly as much as those living in big cities. The lesson here is move to a rural area. Don't live close to important enemy targets if at all possible. It's also much easier to be self-sufficient in rural areas. Number 12, power outages are common during invasions. Power plants are usually the first targets. The lesson learned here is make sure that you have the ability to generate your own power on hand and plenty of fuel to be able to run that generator or solar panels if you have a solar setup. Number 13, hospitals quickly become overwhelmed and are even targeted by enemy forces. The lesson learned here is make sure you have the ability to treat serious wounds, lacerations, and infections on your own ahead of time. Jase Medical is one great resource to be able to get antibiotics ahead of time. You can get 5 different antibiotics that are really useful in, grid down type SHTF scenario kind of situations that can treat all different kinds of injuries and infections and all that kind of stuff. So there's an affiliate link in the description below for Jase Medical. You guys should really check that out. Number 14, stock markets can and will collapse during times of chaos. Russia's stock market lost 40 to 50% in one day. Now, they've made some of that back up, but it's still way, way down. The lesson learned here is make sure to diversify your investments and don't keep all of it in the stock market. Number 15, our last one, is many Ukrainians currently find themselves with no money in their possession because all of their money was in the bank. There's been multiple runs on banks, and cyber attacks have shut down many other banks. The lesson learned here is make sure you keep at least a few months worth of cash in your home. Now, this stuff probably sounds familiar to those of you guys who've been watching the channel for a while, and that's because all of these things are just common survival issues, that we've discussed in the past, but they're all really important, especially in critical times. And this invasion in Ukraine just shows how important and how true all these things are. So please take your time and get prepped right and share these videos out so that other people can learn about them, because crazy things happen, and we don't really know what's going to happen here and how all this stuff's going to play out, but we want to make sure that we're able to take care of ourselves. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. Take care, and don't forget to live 6 Ps. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe.